cosmic explorers. Welcome back to my blog, where astrology meets attitude. I'm Maya Cat, and today, we dive into a transformative journey through October 2025 with our celestial compass. This month crackles with cosmic urgency, urging you to shed old skins and step boldly into your destiny. From the fiery Aries supermoon to the soul-stirring shift into Scorpio season, the stars demand courage, clarity, and emotional honesty. Discover how each zodiac sign, from passionate Aries to intuitive Pisces, navigates this season of radical change, deep transformation, and unexpected opportunities. Joining me as always is my trusted co-pilot Brian, ready to guide us through the stardust. Grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let him take it away. Brian, take the floor.
Thank you, Maya. You always bring the cosmic vibes. Let's talk about how these planetary movements will influence our lives, and why now is the perfect time to lean into their energy. As autumn paints the trees in golden hues and sends their leaves spiraling to the earth like confetti from a celestial farewell party, it's time for us mortals to shed our own layers, specifically the veil of mystery shrouding the starry script above. Welcome to your October 2025 horoscope, a month that won't just whisper suggestions but will practically shove you toward destiny with a wink and a well-placed cosmic elbow. October 2025 is destined to go down in the annals of astrological drama as the month of radical shifts and fearless decisions. On October 7th, a supermoon in fiery Aries will act as the universe's version of a point of no return button. Press it and your carefully laid plans may either ignite into brilliance or combust into chaos, but hey, at least it'll be exciting. Then on October 23rd, the sun slips into enigmatic Scorpio, flipping the calendar to deep transformation season, complete with emotional spelunking and soul-level renovations. The astrological chart for this month reads less like a forecast and more like a Broadway musical, complete with dramatic entrances, plot twists, and a chorus of planetary divas. It opens with a full moon in impulsive Aries, crescendos with the Orionid meteor shower, which, rumor has it, only grants wishes to those bold enough to chase them, and closes with a mystical new moon in Libra that gently dusts off the emotional debris of the past weeks and restores balance, just in time for pumpkin spice lattes and existential reflection. At the heart of October's celestial intrigue lies a high-stakes standoff between the cardinal signs, those natural-born leaders of the Zodiac. Aries shouts, "Act now or forever hold your peace." Libra counters with a perfectly balanced, "But have we considered all perspectives?" And Scorpio, lurking in the shadows with a knowing smirk, simply murmurs, "Fate doesn't negotiate." This tension isn't just background noise, it's the main event. Relationships, especially those built on partnership, diplomacy, or mutual caffeine dependency, will be tested. The combined energies of Libra and Scorpio dominate the skies, turning every coffee date into a potential therapy session and every business meeting into a scene from a psychological thriller. Crises may knock on your door, not necessarily with sirens and smoke, but perhaps with a passive-aggressive text or an unexpectedly emotional Zoom call. And speaking of communication, Mercury, the planet of chats, emails, and awkward small talk, spends nearly the entire month parked in Scorpio, astrology's version of a haunted mansion, and cozying up to Mars, the planet of war. The result? Conversations may feel less like dialogue and more like verbal jujitsu. Expect heightened aggression, stubbornness, and the occasional emotional landmine disguised as a simple, "How are you?" Manipulation tactics may rear their sneaky heads too. Think guilt trips, veiled threats, or that friend who suddenly needs a favor right after you said no to their pyramid scheme. The stars advise, steer clear of situations where you might become someone else's emotional punching bag, especially in the first half of the month. Venus, the planet of grace and diplomacy, is stuck in meticulous Virgo until October 15th, making her about as effective at smoothing things over as a wet paper towel at a barbecue. But fear not. After the 15th, Venus regains her poise and starts weaving compromise into even the stickiest conflicts. So if your business partner tries to strong-arm you into signing a contract that benefits only their pet iguana, or your bestie drops a relationship ultimatum like it's a mic, just smile sweetly and say, "Let's revisit this next week." chances are they'll come back with a far less dramatic script. Mark your calendars. Some days this October are so astrologically charged, they deserve their own theme music. October 7th brings that aforementioned Aries supermoon, which may inject your life with a jolt of unexpected passion. Couples unafraid of spontaneity could find themselves rekindling flames or starting entirely new bonfires. Just be warned, emotions will run hotter than your morning espresso, and family members might behave with the impulsivity of a toddler with a credit card. October 20th. 21 gifts us the Orionid meteor shower, a celestial light show that's not just stunning to watch, but also rumored to bless the boldest dreamers. If you're tying the knot around then, consider an open-air ceremony. A shooting star overhead isn't just romantic, it's the universe giving your union a standing ovation. October 21st also features a new moon in Libra, the Zodiac's ultimate matchmaker. This is the perfect day for elegant, harmonious gatherings, especially weddings, partnership signings, or even a well-negotiated truce with your roommate over whose turn it is to take out the trash. Unions forged under this moon are said to be built on mutual respect, shared playlists, and the kind of understanding that survives even the last slice of pizza. Chapter 4. Why October might just save your life, or at least your sanity. Let's be honest, October isn't exactly a walk through a sun-dappled meadow. The days grow shorter, your to-do list grows longer, and the cosmos seems determined to keep you on your toes. But beneath the surface tension lies a golden opportunity. This is the ideal month to audit your closest relationships. Are they nurturing or draining? Equal or lopsided? Full of love or just full of drama masquerading as love? October gives you the clarity and the courage to confront what's been simmering beneath the surface. You might finally address that unresolved issue with your sibling, set boundaries with a friend who only calls when they need something, or walk away from a situation that's been quietly eroding your peace. And here's the kicker. Despite all the emotional turbulence, the stars are actually aligning in your favor. Uranus and Pluto, two heavyweights of change and transformation, are forming a harmonious aspect with Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and unexpected windfalls. This rare configuration opens doors you didn't even know existed. Opportunities may land in your lap like surprise birthday gifts from the universe itself. Careers could accelerate, hearts could heal, new paths, glittering, uncharted, and utterly thrilling, may reveal themselves. So while October demands honesty and resilience, it also rewards boldness with blessings you never saw coming. Now let's get personal, because the stars have a message just for you. Your sign awaits. Dear Aries, if the past year has felt like you've been sprinting through a cosmic obstacle course in a slightly too tight superhero costume, cape flapping, boots squeaking, and eyebrows permanently raised in heroic determination, you're not imagining things. The stars have thrown challenge after challenge your way, tossing in plot twists, emotional detours, and enough dramatic flair to fill a Netflix limited series. And now, in October 2025, the grand finale of this exhilarating but admittedly roof-blowing saga arrives. It's time not to scatter stones, as Ecclesiastes once mused, but to gather them thoughtfully, examine their weight, and decide which ones are worth keeping in your pocket, and which deserve to be tossed into the nearest existential ravine. So buckle up, Ram. Life is about to take a sharp, stylish turn, one that may dredge up old grievances, unpaid debts, both financial and karmic, and conversations you've been expertly avoiding since the Obama administration. Don't bolt for the nearest exit. These unresolved echoes aren't haunting you out of malice, they're nudging you toward closure. Face them with courage, yes, but also with calm. October 2025 is not the month for dramatic declarations or slamming doors with Shakespearean flair. Emotions, though fiery and familiar, will be terrible advisors right now. Instead, trade your battle axe for a diplomat's quill. Seek compromise. Listen twice as much as you speak. And above all, remember that this year unfolds under the watchful, slitted eyes of the snake, a creature that respects patience, strategy, and the art of holding your best card until the final hand. Rushing in like a bull, or, well, a ram, through a china shop will only leave you picking up shards while everyone else moves on. That said, the cosmos hasn't forgotten your valor. On October 7th, a supermoon blazes directly in your sign, Aries, crowning you with celestial spotlight. This is the culmination of months, perhaps even years, of effort, growth, and quiet resilience. Your natural charisma, leadership, and that magnetic "I've got this" energy will shine brighter than ever. Use it wisely, inspire, don't intimidate, lead with heart, not just heat. And here's a little gendered cosmic gossip, because even the stars enjoy a bit of flair. Aries women can expect a rare and welcome harmony to bloom across both love and career, a sense of alignment that feels less like juggling and more like dancing. Meanwhile, Aries men may find themselves buzzing with a surge of vitality so potent it could power a small city or launch a side hustle into the stratosphere. Whatever your flavor of fire, October offers you the chance to transmute past chaos into future clarity. Dear Taurus, if your idea of a wild Friday night involves rearranging your spice rack by color and debating whether sage green or dusty rose better complements your throw pillows, October 2025 is about to feel like your personal interior design intervention, courtesy of the cosmos. This month isn't just about cozying up your space. It's a divine invitation to declutter your life, recalibrate your priorities, and strengthen the bonds that truly matter, especially with family, your own well-being, and that one houseplant you keep forgetting to water but still somehow survives, bless its leafy heart. The astrological spotlight shines on Venus, your celestial ruler, as she glides gracefully through Libra until October 13th. And let's be honest, when Venus struts through the sign of balance, beauty, and bespoke linen, even the most pragmatic among us start dreaming of silk curtains, artisanal candles, and furniture that costs more than a used car. You may suddenly feel an irresistible urge to redecorate your entire home, repaint the walls in mood-enhancing neutrals, or splurge on a velvet chaise lounge that serves no practical purpose, except making you look like a Renaissance painting. Resist the siren song of retail therapy, at least until you've tossed out the expired condiments, donated the sweater you haven't worn since 2017, and cleared the emotional cobwebs along with the literal ones. This cleansing isn't just about square footage, it's about making room in your mind for new dreams, especially since some of your old ambitions may now feel as outdated as flip phones. Now, we all know you, Taurus. You're the Zodiac's steadfast pragmatist, the one who checks tire pressure before road trips and keeps a spreadsheet for grocery lists. But this October, Venus in Libra is going to test that admirable practicality like a mischievous fairy godmother waving a wand of temptation. You might find yourself eyeing that ridiculously expensive abstract sculpture for the foyer, or a limited edition espresso machine that froths milk with emotional intelligence. Before you max out your credit card to impress guests who probably won't notice anyway, redirect that craving for change towards something far more valuable: fresh social connections. Say yes to that dinner party, reconnect with an old friend, join a book club, even if you only read the blurbs. Relationships, not rugs, will be your real investment this month. And here's the good news. Whether you're a Taurus woman plotting a career pivot or a Taurus man finally asking out that barista who remembers your order, October 2025 offers a golden window of opportunity in both love and professional life. The stars aren't handing you a guaranteed trophy, they're handing you a key. Whether you turn it in the lock is up to you. Your secret weapon, flexibility. Yes, you, the bull known for standing your ground, will thrive this month. Not by digging in your hooves, but by learning to sway like a willow in the breeze, bend without breaking, adapt without losing yourself. And for heaven's sake, stop overthinking whether your new throw pillows match your aura. Venus is weaving harmony into your world. Don't just admire it, step into it. The door is open. Walk through. Dear Gemini, if you've spent the better part of this year feeling like a human pinball, bouncing between ideas, people, and half-finished passion projects with the enthusiasm of a caffeinated squirrel, October 2025 arrives like a soothing cup of chamomile tea, served with a side of cosmic reassurance. This month promises a rare stretch of calm predictability, a gentle rhythm where events unfold largely according to your own carefully or hastily drafted script. There will be ups and downs, of course. Life rarely serves a flat line, but your trademark confidence in eventual triumph remains gloriously unshaken, like a lighthouse that refuses to flicker even in the foggiest of emotional storms. If you've been diligently tending to your financial garden, trimming frivolous subscriptions, watering your savings account, and maybe even composting your impulse buys, you'll finally start to see blossoms. October rewards your discipline with tangible results and even dangles the possibility of new lucrative investments before your eyes. But heed this, not every shiny opportunity deserves your hard-earned coins. Choose your projects with the discernment of an art curator, not the impulsivity of someone scrolling late-night shopping apps at 2 a.m. The stars favor strategy over spontaneity when it comes to your wallet. And now for the fun part, because let's be honest, you didn't sign up for stability without a side of sparkle. October 2025 is tailor-made for your vibrant, multifaceted soul. That painting you've been sketching in your mind, the song humming in your chest, the Argentine tango lessons you keep joking about but secretly crave. The universe isn't just giving you permission, it's practically handing you the brush, the mic, and the dance shoes with a wink and a whispered, "Go on, darling, dazzle us." Obstacles that once loomed like bureaucratic dragons have mysteriously vanished, replaced by open doors and encouraging nods from fate itself. Expect recognition, admirers, and a surge of inspiration so potent it might just propel you into your next bold creative chapter. But, and this is a cosmic but wrapped in velvet, your natural eloquence and charm won't shield you from one critical pitfall: paperwork. October is not the month to sign contracts, finalize agreements, or legally bind yourself to anything more serious than a library card. Mercury, your ruling planet, dives into intense Scorpio on the 6th, coloring your thoughts with emotional depth, but also clouding your usual razor-sharp objectivity. You might overlook a clause, misread a term, or, worst of all, agree to something simply because it felt right in the moment. If possible, shelve all binding decisions until November. Use October instead to review, revise, and triple-check every plan as if your future self is watching over your shoulder with a red pen and a raised eyebrow. And about those other classic Gemini impulses, the ladies of the sign may find themselves gazing thoughtfully at their partners, wondering if someone else might better appreciate their wit, talent, and uncanny ability to quote entire episodes of The Office. Meanwhile, Gemini men might feel an almost gravitational pull towards quitting their jobs and booking a one-way ticket to Bali to find themselves, or at least to find better Wi-Fi and cheaper coconuts. The stars understand the itch, but urge you to scratch it gently, not tear the whole sleeve off. Wait, reflect. Let November's clearer skies guide your leaps. The month's defining astrological current? Mercury's journey, first into Scorpio on October 6th, inviting you to dive deep into research psychology, or that mysterious topic you've always wanted to master. And then into Sagittarius on the 29th, where your newfound wisdom bursts forth in lectures, stories, or viral TikToks that somehow explain quantum physics using only emojis. So dream boldly, create wildly, but read the fine print. Dear Cancer, if you've been waiting for the universe to swoop in like a celestial fairy godmother and fix your problems while you sip chamomile tea in your favorite robe, October 2025 has a gentle but firm message for you. Even the most devoted loved ones can't row your boat if you refuse to pick up the oars. This month isn't about passive hope, it's about active faith. If life has been serving you lemons, or more accurately a whole sour orchard, don't just pucker up and retreat into your shell. Instead, consider that job loss not as an ending, but as an invitation to a role better suited to your talents. View family friction not as a fracture, but as the necessary pressure that forges deeper understanding. The stars aren't asking you to ignore the storm, they're urging you to believe fiercely and unapologetically that sunshine follows even the longest downpour. And speaking of what follows storms, your sanctuary this month is not some far-off mountaintop or tropical retreat, but your own home, and the people who fill it with warmth, chaos, and the occasional burnt casserole. October calls you to move beyond the mechanics of caregiving, beyond dropping paychecks on the kitchen counter, microwaving dinner, or half listening to homework woes while scrolling your phone. No, the cosmos wants you fully present, lingering over slow family meals, strolling through autumn parks with a loved one's arm looped through yours, or dragging everyone to that quirky museum exhibit you've been eyeing. Make it a rule, no more rushed conversations in hallways or shouted updates from different rooms. Real connection happens over steaming mugs of tea or coffee, in unhurried moments where silence is welcome and questions are met with curiosity, not clock watching. If there's someone from your past, a cousin you haven't spoken to since the great holiday argument of 2019, a childhood friend whose number you still have but never dial, now is the time to reach out. Don't assume the bridge is burned beyond repair. Perhaps it simply needs repaving. Relationships like gardens sometimes require pruning, replanting, or a complete redesign, not abandonment. What once felt stale might blossom anew in a different form if only you're willing to water it with a little courage and a lot of compassion. Because here's the cosmic truth, dear Crab. Your inner circle isn't just your comfort zone this month, it's your superpower. With Jupiter forming a harmonious trine to Mars, drama is practically guaranteed, both in your professional sphere and your personal life. Tensions will flare, deadlines will loom like thunderclouds, and Lilith, the shadowy asteroid of raw desire and suppressed rage, will be gliding through Scorpio, plucking at your nerves like a virtuoso on a particularly moody violin. But you won't face these trials alone. Your family, your chosen tribe, your late-night text thread of soul sisters and brothers, they're your armor, your anchor, your emotional command center. And with them behind you, you'll weather anything. The month's defining energy? Jupiter, the planet of expansion and blessing, continues its generous transit through your sign, magnifying opportunities tied to home, family, and real estate. Whether you're buying, selling, renovating, or simply redefining what home means to you, October will demand decisions that echo far into your future. Choose with your heart, but verify with your head. Your people are your power. Lean in, not away. Dear Leo, if you've been itching to charge into October like your usual majestic self, mane gleaming, confidence blazing, ready to conquer boardrooms, hearts, and maybe even that karaoke night you've been avoiding, pause for just a moment. The stars are waving a gentle but firm caution flag at the starting line. The first days of October 2025 are not the time for grand gambles, impulsive declarations, or leaping into ventures where the only thing certain is your enthusiasm. Without solid ground beneath your paws, even the mightiest lion can stumble into disappointment. And while you may brush off minor setbacks with a regal flick of your tail, this month's little irritations, those paper-cut annoyances and emotional static, can quietly erode your normally unshakable spirit. So where do you recharge? Not on a throne of accolades, but curled up in the warm, unjudging circle of family, where laughter still counts as currency and hugs don't require a performance review. But the real cosmic drama arrives when the sun, the very symbol of your radiant identity, forms an opposition to Chiron, the wounded healer. Suddenly you'll find yourself staring down old ghosts. Unresolved hurts, buried slights, and emotional splinters you convinced yourself had long since dissolved. Think of them as rusty thorns lodged deep in your heart, quietly poisoning your joy with every beat. These aren't trivial matters. They're echoes from your past that have been whispering doubts into your dreams. And while a lesser creature might flee from such discomfort, you, noble Leo, are being called not to run, but to heal. The universe isn't asking you to relive the pain. It's inviting you to finally extract the thorn, clean the wound, and let light flood in where shadow once festered. Make no mistake, October will place you squarely in the eye of an emotional hurricane. Winds of memory, regret, and raw vulnerability will swirl around you. But here's the twist. This storm isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to refine you. The stars are clear. Ignoring these wounds will only let them fester, growing heavier with time. Face them now with courage and compassion, and you'll emerge not just intact, but luminous, your roar deeper, your presence more grounded, your fire tempered by wisdom. And for those brave enough to do the work, October has a standing ovation waiting. Romance, long simmering on the back burner, may finally come to a boil. A career breakthrough you've been patiently cultivating could burst into full bloom. But, and this is crucial, the new chapter unfolding before you won't respond to the same old tactics. Your talent and charisma are undeniable, but the world no longer bows simply because you enter the room. This era demands nuance. Learn to listen more than you perform. Observe before you command. Seek collaboration over conquest. True leadership now lies not in demanding admiration, but in earning trust through humility, flexibility, and genuine connection. The month's defining celestial rhythm. The sun glides through diplomatic Libra until October 23rd, urging you to seek balance, fairness, and harmony in your relationships. Then it plunges into intense Scorpio, awakening a hunger for truth, transformation, and emotional depth. You'll be pulled between the desire to keep the peace and the need to tear down old walls, sometimes within the same conversation. So heal boldly, lead gently, boldly, lead. Dear Virgo, if your idea of a perfect month involves color-coded calendars, meticulously balanced budgets, and a pantry organized by expiration date, in alphabetical order naturally, October 2025 is about to toss a glitter bomb into your beautifully ordered world, and somehow, against all odds, it might just be the best thing that's happened to you all year. But before you reach for your emergency spreadsheet, hear this. This month, the cosmos is gently but firmly reminding you to stop playing emotional janitor for everyone else and finally start tending to your own garden. Your generosity is admirable, your reliability legendary, but if you keep pouring from an empty cup, even the most efficient soul eventually runs dry. Ignoring your own needs in favor of fixing other people's chaos won't earn you sainthood. It'll just leave you exhausted, resentful, and possibly out several $100s you lent to that friend who still hasn't repaid you for concert tickets in 2019. October promises a delightful and slightly disorienting surprise in your love life. If you've been flying solo, prepare for unexpected flirtations, cryptic compliments, and possibly even anonymous love notes slipped under your office door, or more realistically sent via LinkedIn with a suspiciously poetic subject line. That stoic boss who's sworn off relationships since the great office breakup of 2022. He might just invite you to the theater with a nervous smile and a reservation for two. And if you're already partnered, don't be shocked when your significant other reveals a hidden talent, shares a long-buried dream, or asks a question so profound it derails your entire evening's plan to reorganize the spice rack. But Virgo, darling, resist the urge to immediately draft a 5-year relationship roadmap based on one intriguing conversation. This isn't the universe handing you a first-class ticket to the Maldives. It's offering you a riddle wrapped in charm and tied with a bow of mystery. Your romantic counterparts, whether potential or current, will be full of surprises, tossing intellectual curveballs and emotional pop quizzes your way. They'll challenge your assumptions, test your flexibility, and maybe even say something so unexpected it makes your perfectly calibrated internal compass spin like a confused top. Your mission this month? Don't panic, don't retreat into cynicism, and for heaven's sake, don't start drafting a pros and cons list in your head mid-conversation. Instead, meet the unexpected with a warm smile, a dash of humor, and genuine curiosity. Thank the universe, not sarcastically but sincerely, for these little tests of grace. Because handled with lightness and openness, these moments won't throw you off course. They'll reveal new paths you never knew existed. And speaking of throwing things off course, Mars, that mischievous planet of passion and impulsivity, is stirring the pot, urging you to break routine and maybe even say yes to something that isn't on your schedule. Yes, Virgo, we know your days are usually mapped out down to the minute, but a little controlled chaos might just be the spark your life needs. Let yourself be spontaneous. Say the slightly reckless thing, wear the shoes that aren't practical. You might just discover that joy doesn't always come with an instruction manual. The month's defining celestial event? The new moon in Libra on October 21st forms a harmonious aspect to your sign, opening a golden window for financial improvement and aesthetic upgrades. This is your cosmic green light to invest in that ergonomic desk chair you've been eyeing. Finally hire someone to fix your perpetually dripping faucet, or treat yourself to linens so luxurious they make folding laundry feel like a spa ritual. Beauty isn't frivolous, it's fuel, and this month you've earned it, so loosen the reins, trust the detours. Dear Libra, if you've been hoping October 2025 would unfold like a perfectly composed sonata, graceful, harmonious, and with just the right amount of crescendo, you might want to brace yourself for a month that feels more like an improv jazz session played during a thunderstorm. The stars have lined up to deliver a whirlwind of surprises, spontaneous trips, and enough plot twists to keep even the most seasoned diplomat on their toes. But fear not. This isn't chaos for chaos's sake. It's a cosmic invitation to cut through the noise of other people's expectations and finally tune into your own inner frequency. What do you truly want? Why are you really doing what you're doing? October demands radical honesty, not just with others, but with yourself. And in a world where your charm and diplomacy are legendary, this raw authenticity will be your secret superpower. Communication takes center stage this month, turning every conversation into a potential turning point. Whether you're negotiating a contract, soothing a friend's heartbreak, or simply ordering coffee, your words carry extra weight. Lean into your natural grace, but don't mistake politeness for truth. Let your intuition be your compass. Those quiet gut feelings you sometimes dismiss as overthinking are actually the universe whispering urgent advice through your solar plexus. Heed them, and you'll sidestep blunders that could cost you time, trust, or that very expensive silk blouse you just bought. Now, about that dream of serene equilibrium you've been clinging to, Mars has other plans. That fiery planet of action and aggression has decided to crash your elegant soiree like an over-caffeinated bull in a crystal shop. At work, the usual friendly competition among colleagues is about to escalate into a full-blown great race, complete with territorial posturing, passive-aggressive emails, and the sudden urge to measure your worth against everyone in the break room. You'll start seeing rivals in every teammate, challenges in every casual comment, and confrontations in every calendar invite. Even your toaster might choose this month to stage a dramatic rebellion, spitting out bread like it's personally offended by your life choices. But here's the catch. As much as your Libran soul may itch to rise to the bait, open conflict is strictly off limits. Not because you can't win, but because you're too valuable to waste your energy on petty battles. Instead, wield your greatest gift, the art of persuasion. A well-placed compliment, a tactful question, a sentence wrapped in velvet. These will disarm tension far more effectively than any argument. Remember, a gentle word can soothe even the most frazzled client, the most stubborn boss, and yes, even that malfunctioning espresso machine that's clearly having an existential crisis. And just when you think the month couldn't get more intense, the cosmos hands you a golden reset button. On October 21st, a new moon rises in your very own sign, Libra, marking your personal new year. This is your moment to dream boldly, set intentions with clarity, and plant seeds for the future you truly desire. Forget resolutions, think revelations. What kind of life feels not just balanced, but beautiful? What relationships deserve your energy? What dreams have you been too reasonable to pursue? So speak softly, stand firmly. Dear Scorpio, if October 2025 were a cocktail, it would be a smoky mezcal with a single drop of venom. Elegant, intense, and best sipped slowly unless you fancy spending the evening regretting your life choices. This month, the cosmos isn't just handing you a magnifying glass, it's thrusting a blowtorch into your hands and whispering, "Go ahead, burn it all down." But before you light the match, take a breath. Financial and career matters will be tangled in thorny thickets of complexity, and impulsive decisions, especially those fueled by righteous fury or a sudden urge to teach someone a lesson, could leave you counting pennies while everyone else counts their blessings. Every dollar spent should be weighed like a state secret, and every investment scrutinized as if it might contain a hidden clause written in invisible ink. Prudence isn't boring this month, it's your armor. The real challenge, however, comes from the skies themselves. Mercury, planet of communication, forms a tense square with Pluto, your modern ruler, and the resulting astrological pressure cooker will make you feel an almost primal urge to unleash your most scorpion-like instincts. You'll want to sting with your words, dissect conversations with surgical cruelty, and corner people with questions so sharp they draw blood. And let's be honest, you may have every right to do so. After all, others haven't exactly tiptoed around your emotional landmines. Some have practically tap-danced across them in stilettos. A storm has been brewing inside you for months, maybe years, a tempest of unspoken grievances and simmering betrayals. And now it's knocking on the door, demanding release. It's tempting to believe that if you raise everything to the ground, the toxic job, the draining relationship, the entire social circle that smells faintly of expired loyalty, you'll finally clear space for something pure and beautiful to grow. But here's the cosmic truth the stars are begging you to hear. Destruction is not the same as transformation. October 2025 isn't asking you to become a wrecking ball, it's asking you to become an alchemist. Channel that intensity inward. Practice restraint. Choose your words not to wound, but to clarify. Rise above office politics that smell like cheap cologne and kitchen table dramas that thrive on gossip. You're far too powerful to waste your venom on petty battles. And remember this, when you corner someone with a loaded question, the answer you get might not be the one you expect or want. Truth, once unearthed, doesn't politely retreat back into the soil. You'll have to live with what you dig up, so ask yourself, is it worth the excavation? The month's defining celestial shift arrives on October 23rd, when the sun finally slips into your sign, marking the beginning of your personal new year. This is your season, not of chaos but of profound renewal. It's time to shed what no longer serves you. Outdated identities, exhausting obligations, relationships that demand more than they give, but do it with intention, not rage. Let go like a leaf in autumn, not ripped away in a gale, but released with quiet grace. So wield your power wisely, speak only what must be said. Dear Sagittarius, if your soul runs on adrenaline, adventure, and the occasional impulsive one-way ticket to a country whose name you can't quite pronounce, October 2025 might initially feel like being asked to sit through a 3-hour lecture on tax law while wearing socks with sandals. Yes, the stars are handing you a month that leans heavily into the mundane. Paperwork that multiplies like gremlins, projects that lack the sparkle of your usual grand schemes, and a general sense of waiting in the wings that could make even the most optimistic archer sigh into their third coffee of the morning. Your naturally buoyant spirit may chafe against this temporary lull, mistaking stillness for stagnation, but don't mistake the pause for a dead end. This is your cosmic pit stop, not your final destination. Take a deep breath, dear Centaur. Remember how spring and summer 2025 felt like a high-stakes action movie directed by someone who just discovered espresso. Explosions of opportunity, whirlwind romances, career leaps that left your head spinning. You've earned this quiet interlude. And while winter is already sharpening its teeth with promises of fresh drama, autumn, especially October, offers you something rare and precious, a serene harbor. Think of it as your personal R&R retreat, where you can patch your sails, polish your arrows, and mentally rehearse the next great chapter without the pressure of performing it just yet. Far from being dull, this month is a smooth stretch of open road after a mountainous climb. And yes, it's paved with good fortune. In fact, October 2025 unfolds like a well-written novel where every encounter leads somewhere intriguing. Serendipitous meetings will spark out of nowhere. Old contacts resurface with exciting proposals. Strangers at a cafe strike up conversations that feel oddly fated, and projects you didn't even know you wanted suddenly appear on your radar, glowing with potential. Your love life, meanwhile, hums with harmony. Even if unexpected twists arise, and they might, they'll bend toward joy, not chaos. Sagittarius women in particular will feel an irresistible urge, and crucially the means, to indulge in delightful little rebellions, booking a spontaneous getaway to a sun-drenched island where the only decision is margarita or mojito, or accepting dinner with that enigmatic stranger whose smile suggests he's either a spy or the love of your life. Possibly both. Sagittarius men, too, will find their natural magnetism working overtime, effortlessly rekindling old friendships or forging vibrant new connections. Your charm is a superpower this month, but wield it with a dash of discernment. Not every flattering invitation leads to treasure, some lead to mirages. The stars caution you against mistaking charisma for clarity. Look beyond the surface sparkle, listen not just to what people say, but to what they leave unsaid. The month's defining celestial currents. On October 29th, Mercury, planet of communication and curiosity, finally gallops into your sign, sharpening your mind and reigniting your thirst for knowledge, travel, and big ideas. But even before that, the Orionid meteor shower blazes across the sky on October 20th, 21, showering the Earth with cosmic glitter and blessing all journeys, physical, intellectual, or spiritual, with extra luck. If you've been dreaming of distant horizons, this is the universe whispering, pack your bags, the world is waiting. So rest, but don't rust. Dream boldly. Dear Capricorn, if you've spent the better part of this year scaling professional peaks with the quiet determination of a mountain goat in a three-piece suit, October 2025 is the universe's gentle but firm nudge to come down from the summit and spend some quality time in the valley of home and heart. This month, your focus must shift from boardrooms to bedrooms, from quarterly reports to family dinners, and from networking to actually connecting. The good news? Your finances are holding steady, perhaps even flourishing, thanks to your trademark discipline and long-term vision. But rather than pouring every extra dollar into another investment or emergency fund, though we admire your caution, consider investing in something less tangible but far more nourishing: the warmth of tradition, the comfort of shared meals, and the quiet joy of being truly present with those who call you family. unlike your free-spirited Sagittarius neighbors who are currently napping in a hammock somewhere between Bali and Bliss, you won't be granted a full cosmic vacation. That said, don't mistake responsibility for drudgery, because October has tucked a rather exquisite surprise into your pocket. Romance, but not the fleeting fireworks and champagne kind. No, this is the slow-burning, soul-deep variety. If you're single, you might just lock eyes with someone who doesn't just admire your ambition but understands your silence. And if you're already partnered, prepare for a profound deepening of intimacy, a conversation over burnt toast that somehow unlocks a new level of trust, or a shared laugh that feels like coming home after a long journey. It's lovely, yes, but don't get too comfortable. The real work of the month lies elsewhere. Saturn, your stern but ultimately benevolent ruler, is still wrapping up its retrograde phase until October 14th, and it's been using this time like a cosmic drill sergeant, forcing you to adapt to new structures, tighter budgets, and the uncomfortable truth that winging it is not a financial strategy. If you haven't yet learned to plan your spending with the precision of a Swiss watchmaker, Saturn will keep handing you pop quizzes until you do. That paycheck? It shouldn't vanish by Tuesday like a magician's rabbit. Avoid dubious opportunities that promise quick riches, especially those involving crypto, pyramid schemes, or your cousin's surefire racetrack tip. And for heaven's sake, skip the lottery. Your luck this month lies in discipline, not dice rolls. Now about that much-needed recharge. Capricorn women, this is your invitation to create. Not for clients, not for Instagram, but for your own soul. Paint, write, knit, bake bread shaped like constellations, whatever makes your inner world sing. Let creativity be your sanctuary, not your side hustle. As for Capricorn men, yes, even you need to unplug. If meditation feels too woo-woo, grab your fishing rod and head to the nearest lake. Silence, water, and the gentle tug of a line can be just as restorative as any yoga class. But whatever you do, leave your phone in the car. The world will survive 2 hours without your spreadsheet updates. The month's defining shift arrives on October 14th, when Saturn finally turns direct, releasing a pent-up current of practical energy that's been straining at the leash. This is your moment to shine. Not with flashy gestures, but with the quiet power of competence, reliability, and strategic action. Career doors will creak open, not because you kicked them down, but because you showed up, prepared every single day. So tend your hearth, honor your rhythm. Dear Aquarius, if your emotional barometer has ever been calibrated more by the whims of the cosmos than by actual logic, and let's be honest, whose isn't, October 2025 is about to turn your inner weather system into a full-blown meteorological soap opera. One day you'll find yourself inexplicably uplifted by the sound of rain tapping on your window like a melancholic Morse code. The next, you'll stare blankly at a perfectly sunny sky and feel a wave of existential wistfulness so profound it could power a French art film. Don't worry, this isn't a glitch in your system. It's just the universe reminding you that even the most rational air sign has a soul that hums to its own unpredictable frequency. Just try not to schedule major life decisions based on whether your mood matches the forecast. Financially speaking, this is not the month to bet your savings on a revolutionary startup that promises to replace coffee with algae smoothies, or to finally launch that avant-garde hat boutique you've been sketching in your notebook. The stars are waving a polite but firm pause sign over all entrepreneurial ventures. Investments may look tempting, but they're more mirage than oasis. Postpone, refine, and revisit your plans in November, when your intuition won't be quite so tangled in autumnal fog. But don't mistake caution for stagnation, because October is also gifting you a surge of energy so potent it could power a small commune, or at least keep your espresso machine running through 3 all-nighters. Before you start dreaming of spa days and spontaneous dance parties, however, brace yourself. This vitality isn't meant for leisure. It's fuel for a whirlwind of responsibilities that will have you balancing tasks like a tightrope walker over a canyon of deadlines, group chats, and last-minute requests from people who clearly forgot you're not actually a superhero, though your LinkedIn profile might suggest otherwise. Here's the twist. Instead of overwhelming you, this beautiful chaos will electrify you. Your brilliant, unconventional mind thrives on complexity, and October knows it. If you ditch the second-guessing, embrace your natural flexibility, and let your inventive spirit lead the way, you won't just survive the storm, you'll start choreographing it. In fact, you might even feel inspired to add more to your plate. Sign up for lessons on the theremin, book a hot air balloon ride at dawn, or finally teach your cat to respond to commands in Esperanto. Go ahead, indulge your inner rebel. The world needs your weird, wonderful energy now more than ever. Aquarius women, this month showers you with golden opportunities to channel your creativity into something tangible. Whether it's launching a podcast about forgotten feminist poets, designing wearable tech that glows with your mood, or finally finishing that surrealist mural in your garage. Men of the sign, your brilliance will shine brightest in the professional realm. Expect breakthroughs, recognition, and maybe even a promotion wrapped in the kind of innovation only you could conceive. The month's defining celestial event. The supermoon on October 7th illuminates your sector of communication, community, and close friendships, turning your social circle into a hive of collaboration and inspiration. Ideas you've been quietly nurturing will suddenly find fertile ground and enthusiastic allies. This is the perfect moment to pitch that group project, host a salon-style gathering, or simply reconnect with the friends who get your brand of genius. Your voice matters. And this month, the right people are finally listening, so lean into the whirlwind, trust your strange magic. Dear Pisces, if October 2025 were a mood, it would be that hazy hour just before dawn. Beautiful, mysterious, and slightly disorienting, like trying to read tea leaves while floating in a dream. This month promises a curious paradox. On one hand, you'll be harvesting sweet fruits from both your love life and career, basking in moments of genuine connection and professional validation. On the other, you may feel weighed down by an invisible fog of inner tension, a quiet melancholy that lingers like the scent of rain on dry pavement. Don't ignore it. This isn't just one of those phases. It's your soul's gentle but insistent request for attention. Consider taking a proper break, even if it's just a weekend spent wrapped in blankets, listening to ocean sounds and letting your thoughts drift like seaweed in a calm current. Tune into your feelings with the tenderness you so freely offer others, and you might discover that the source of your unease isn't where you've been searching at all. Perhaps it's not the overflowing inbox, but the unspoken boundary you've been avoiding. The autumnal chaos you've already sensed since the equinox, it's still very much in session. October delights in serving you a steady stream of delightful absurdities. You'll arrange a romantic rendezvous only to realize you and your partner are waiting in opposite corners of the city, with neither quite sure who misread the text. Important documents will vanish like ghosts, only to reappear inside the fridge. The power will cut out precisely as your dinner guests ring the doorbell, plunging your carefully curated ambience into candlelit improvisation. This isn't malice. It's the universe, testing your resilience, your humor, and your ability to think sideways. And if you respond, not with frustration, but with creative problem solving, and maybe a well-timed joke, October will reward you handsomely, not with grand fanfare, but with quiet victories that feel like secret gifts. Pisces, women who've spent years dissolving their needs into the comfort of others will find this month especially empowering, if they dare to show a little spine. Speak your truth, set a boundary, or simply say no without apology, and watch how the world adjusts its perception of you. Colleagues and loved ones will suddenly see you not just as the empathetic listener, but as the wise, grounded force you truly are. They'll seek your counsel, lean on your intuition, and maybe even start bringing you coffee, just because. But remember, you are not a life raft for every passing emotional storm. Your compassion is a gift, not an obligation. Nurture yourself first, or you'll have nothing left to give. As for Pisces men, October marks a pivotal turn in your professional journey. You'll finally crack the code on financial flow, not through luck, but through quiet strategy. Money that once slipped through your fingers like water will begin to pool, thanks to a newfound clarity about where it goes and why. The key: choose your goal with intention. Don't just save for something. Save for this. When your purpose is clear, your discipline follows naturally, and your efforts will bloom into tangible security. The month's defining celestial shift arrives on October 22nd, when Neptune, your modern ruler, ends its retrograde journey through fiery Aries. As the fog lifts, your dreams, which may have felt vague or elusive, will suddenly snap into focus. That half-formed idea, it now has a shape. That distant longing, It now has a direction. This is your moment to translate vision into action, not with force, but with the quiet certainty of someone who finally sees the path ahead. So drift, but don't drown. Dream, but decide. Clarity is coming, now trust it.
And that's a wrap, my starry-eyed friends. Remember, the universe sends whispers, not shouts, so tune in and trust the process. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more astro insights, and leave a comment to share your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious, stay magical, and keep shining like the star you are. Meow off.